Welcome. I'm seeing things now that really scare me and remind me of Korea 2002, Korea and Japan 2002, and FIFA up to its old tricks again. The decision to take away the red card from Favoritism Balogun, which for me was excessive and maybe shouldn't have been a red card. In the United States, the last match, and we can agree on that, but the unprecedented decision to take away the red card in an action that had already been judged. And does FIFA still want recognition, even though Messi didn't get a red card and it looks like they made a mistake? Let's be fair. No, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't happen this way. This is the first time this decision has ever been made. But also, the explanation is unbelievable. FIFA confirms that following Balogun's suspension is put on hold for a year, man, and he's eligible to play under Article 27. In accordance with Article 27 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, the enforcement of the match suspension is suspended for a probationary period of 1 year. This is a really crazy thing. If Favoritism Balogun commits another similar serious offense during probation, such as insulting someone as if he had, I mean, we've already seen this in UEFA, we've also seen it in FIFA, but not for actions judged as purely sporting, like a stomp. I mean, the other day, the incident was very accidental and you felt sorry for the player, right? He had to leave the field because of that. But when he steps and twists his ankle, damn, the other day we said Messi should have been sent off, even if it was accidental. That should have happened, but it didn't. There's a double standard. Here, yes, but if we think that one was a red card, we think this one is a red card too, even though it's really bad luck. But it's incredible that they're using this article now to say, well, and especially this ruling or a ruling whose enforcement is deferred, that if he commits another offense of a similar nature and seriousness, during the 1 year probation, if a new offense occurs, the suspension is revoked and the penalty enforced, plus any extra penalties for the new offense. I mean, but you let him play against Belgium in the round of 16. Honestly, it's an outrageous move, truly outrageous. And I'm rooting for the United States. I mean, first for Spain, of course, and then for them. With the country and the nation that welcomed me, where my son was born and where my wife is from as well, which, like me, as a second nationality, this country, for me, I mean, I want them to do well until they face Spain. I want them to beat Belgium, even though Courtois is there. But this, let's put aside flags and preferences. This is a terrible precedent. And what's worse, FIFA is back to its old ways. If it ever really left, right? It's totally authoritarian. And besides, it smells fishy. It smells strange because, well, just look at this. Message from the official White House account. Donald Trump thanks FIFA for doing what is right and reversing the great injustice. President Donald Trump, and we've seen Infantino with Trump, and I'm not at all suspicious of. Anyway, I don't want to get into these topics. But, and as I always tell you, if I think something is good, I say it. If I think something is bad, I say it, without tying myself to specific people, to idolizing them and all that. There are things that this gentleman does that are good and others that are bad. I say the ones that are good and I say the ones that are bad. But this isn't really his responsibility. I mean, no, it's Infantino who's taken it to an obscene level. Infantino has taken his closeness to the President of the United States to an obscene level since this year's Club World Cup. Well, since much earlier, right? And so, of course, it makes you think because, but that's on one hand, right? That's on one hand, which reminds us of Korea, well, and how it's always been. The host has always been given an advantage. And guys, I know many of you watch me from the United States, and you'll want the same thing I do, for the United States to advance. But if this had happened with Spain, and if it happens in 2030 with Spain, I would be saying the same thing, exactly the same. It's not normal because also you get these kinds of images. What if you combine it with that other thing? With what happened with Paraguay yesterday against France, here he is with Alejandro Dominguez, the president of CONMEBOL, who's Paraguayan, okay? The hugs and the nonsense after the other day's match at the Miami Stadium. Hey, what's going on? UEFA and FIFA is removing a lot of footage now, right? Okay. I think maybe this has been a mistake. Well, no, look, they're messing it up for me. They're taking away this footage from me, just like they've taken away others. There was one I wanted to show you. I've already posted it on X, but I insist they've taken it down. You know that FIFA is allowing a lot of footage from the matches to be posted, right? On social media. Why is it why is it that the footage of this incident, of Galarza's fake aggression in yesterday's match when he tried to get Olise sent off and Olise ended up getting a yellow card, and we're going to connect this with what happened to Balogun? If they've taken away the red card from Balogun, then Olise should have his famous yellow card taken away too. I managed to find it somewhere, but anyway, this is the footage I can't show here. It's when Olise is fouled, he gets hit with the ball after the foul on Olise, he's on the ground, and they hit a Paraguayan player with the ball. And then there's another one who tries to help him up by offering his hand, but Olise says no, that he'll get up by himself. That's what I'm saying. It's always the same trick. They hit you again, they fake it, and then they offer you a hand. You don't accept it, and rightly so, like Mbappe did yesterday with the goalkeeper, and then they call you unsportsmanlike. But the worst part of this is that it gets to that point, that it reaches that limit, because neither the referee at first nor FIFA afterwards punish this. Teams like Paraguay, no offense to Paraguayans, but that's a team that didn't want to play football and used their own tactics, which is fine. Cape Verde used their tactics too, defended well, but didn't use dirty fouls. What happened yesterday was unbelievable, really. And like I've told you in the last videos, I don't care about France. I actually want France to lose, but what I defend above all is football, and it's just amazing. No, look at Mbappe and Olise, such bad sportsmen for not shaking hands. But if they treated you terribly before, then offered a handshake, you can just ignore them. It's just amazing, man. Well, the image, wait, well, now I'll show you this about Galarza, because on top of that, he started to pout, acting all offended. Hey, man, seriously, wait, where? Oh, I have it here, I have it here, I have it here. This one, okay. Before they delete it from everywhere. Seriously, it's amazing what this guy does. It's incredible. I'm even going to mute the sound. Olise is telling him, shut up, stuff like that. He tugs Olise's shirt slightly, that's all, no aggression. The guy just fakes it. He puts his arm and hand toward Olise's face and pretends he was attacked, man. And this guy stayed on the field and didn't even get a single yellow card. This shameless Galarza guy. Not even a single yellow card. And then he comes over here pouting. You couldn't even understand what this guy was trying to say. Like, what an injustice, right? What an injustice. Yeah, very proud. Yeah. Maybe because of the World Cup we had, obviously. I think that's what he's saying. And he leaves crying, man. I mean, seriously, a guy who's done everything he's done. But I insist that action we saw of how this guy fakes, how he fakes the yellow card, how he fakes the aggression, I imagine they'll remove that yellow card from Olise. I think the French Federation hasn't appealed yet, but they will. I hope they remove it because of the Balogun precedent. This sets a dangerous precedent, as now all teams will want the same. As my son said, not now, but it's fair. I told him one thing is fair, but you can't do this because then every team will ask for it. Of course, they'll give it to the host. And I don't want to think that yesterday Paraguay was allowed to play the way they did with an Uzbek referee. Uzbek, like what happened with Spain in the Korea World Cup. An Egyptian referee who screwed us over in every play of the match after having already screwed Italy before. With that referee whose last name was Moreno, I don't remember his first name, Vieri told me about it. I was talking one day with my former Bain Sports colleague, Christian Vieri, the Italian footballer. We saw it ourselves. Vieri didn't need to tell me, right? But Baron Moreno, this Baron Moreno was later caught with drugs at an airport. I mean, he was a guy who could be easily bought. That was against Italy, then Al Gandour versus Spain. After that, things got weird. The little hugs we've seen from Infantino with Alejandro Dominguez, the Paraguayan president of CONMEBOL. That's what we always say about Madrid. When we finally get a penalty, well, obviously, because it was a penalty, but what about all the minor fouls called against us? And the 13 fouls where we only get one yellow card, and you commit 10 and get 3 yellow cards, and one of them is for something like this. That's what we've complained about with Madrid. It really makes you think badly. It really makes you think the worst. Anyway, I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments, because the thing is, well, you know, I mean, Spain, now Portugal, Spain, Portugal. They give us Anthony Taylor, and people are saying that, yes, he didn't call or award. I mean, he didn't give a penalty in the Euros for that handball by Cucurella. Do you know where Anthony Taylor was before? Someone mentioned it here. Hold on, I replied to them. I'm just saying this for anyone who claims they favored you before. Hold on. Anthony Taylor is the same guy. See, here from Touchmine, he says Taylor was just assigned as the referee for Spain and Portugal, and he didn't call it. He ignored Cucurella's handball, which later became... By the way, there was some information saying that those handballs with the arm down weren't called, which I think should have been called, but that summer they were being called. Well, in any case, if it could be a decision that favored Spain, perfect. But do you know where this man came from? This man came from a Nations League match where he didn't call a penalty for Ferran Torres, which was outrageous, in a Sweden versus Spain game, and UEFA scolded him for it. That is to say, indeed, they criticized him for that action. Then after that, UEFA appointed him for the final. The UEFA appointed him for the final between France and Spain of the Nations League, of the same Nations League. And there he allowed this goal, even though Mbappe was clearly offside. It was a ball that Eric Garcia touched, but Mbappe started from an offside position and he allowed the goal. It was a scandal. Well, that guy with whom Portugal has won 100% of the matches and Spain only 45% with these precedents, one good, two bad. Now they're saying that if Spain does this or that. No, excuse me, I think the opposite. But anyway. Yes, of course. If we consider Infantino wants a Messi versus Cristiano final and favors Argentina finals, we already know that. That he wants Portugal and Cristiano finals, we don't know yet, but we can imagine it. All right. Now, what happened with Paraguay yesterday is really obvious. I mean, it smells bad. What happened with Argentina smells bad. And of course, what happened with the host country, my dear United States. But it has to be said, this decision smells bad. It really does. Therefore, if Spain advances or if Portugal themselves advance to the quarterfinals and face the United States, oh my, what happened with Korea could look like child's play. Really, like child's play. I was going to tell you something else, and it's about this. Okay, they're using populism around the issue of South American and European soccer. I'll tell you the same thing I said in previous videos. I have much more in common with Spanish-speaking people than with my European neighbors, even though they're my neighbors, okay? Much more. I mean, this isn't an analysis because I'm on one side or the other. It's an analysis because what I see, I don't like, and what I hear... Alfaro, the coach of Paraguay, who seems like a very polite guy to me, has been saying a series of things in the last few days, like the other day with the Germans. No, it's just that we're facing players who grew up in academies and we grew up on the street. You could say that before, but nowadays, not so much. Sorry. But anyway, yesterday he went back to the same thing. Today we're facing players who are fighting for the Ballon d'Or, for the all-time top scorer in World Cups. We have kids who never met their fathers. It's just, man, really, I mean, this populism, man. Well, it turns out that Matias Galarza, that shameless guy who pretended he was being kicked, populism, no. Matias Galarza from Paraguay is notorious for his antics. He's related to many soccer players, and his mother, a former tennis player, owns a tennis academy. He graduated from the bilingual Trinity School. What is it really besides another example of populism? Gallardo, former coach of Populism. Gallardo, River, Argentine coach, listen to what he says. Listen to what Gallardo says about South American football and European football. These are the same old cliches. I mean, it's nonsense. Wait, let me turn up the volume just a moment.
Our football, if you don't clash, you can't play. There's no aggressiveness. Our football, if you don't clash, you can't play. If you're not ready for the contact, for the physicality, for the physical battle, you can't play. So, comparing it culturally between European football, what is it that European players don't like? You know, the habits of South Americans, like doubling up on marking you, stepping on you, putting an arm on you. The French would look and say, what's this? Where did these guys come from? And yeah, they don't like it. They're not used to it. That's why it bothers them. It's hard for them. Look, it bothers him. And it's hard for a soccer player when someone else comes and breaks the rules of the game, and the referee allows it over and over to the point of not even giving a single yellow card. The thing is, this is a rhetorical trap. I mean, they don't like it when someone puts a hand on them. But where do you think European soccer players play? Have you seen the French league and the hits they give each other? Have you seen it? Soccer is becoming more physical in all the major European leagues, right? But of course, what people don't like is trying to cheat. Let's see. It's not just about using your hand, using your body and all that. All the soccer players accept that. It's true that a team that's going to play soccer gets annoyed by another team that's just going to kick and so on. But if it's within the rules, it's fine.
I mean, you can accept that a team that's technically inferior to you might use this, that's fine, but damn, not other things, especially if the referee allows them. And among those other things were, for example, just cheating for the sake of cheating. Seriously, do you guys remember this? When Cáceres, the Paraguayan soccer player, erased the line that the referee marked for him. Besides, why do you mark a line 55 meters from the goal? To take a free kick, what Luzbeko did was incredible. Well, then comes this, Cáceres, no, it's a little further back, watch out. He was going to take the free kick 5 meters ahead, okay? Or 10, I don't know how much they give there. Then the guy comes and says, okay, erases the line with his foot, that's a yellow card, but come on, what is this? But how many things did they allow these people to do? But how can there be people saying today, no, it's just that you Europeans don't accept it. I don't care if they're Europeans or not. People need to respect the rules in football or else it's chaos. No, you just don't accept. No, excuse me. If erasing the line with your foot is a yellow card, then so be it. But what does the referee do? But it's unbelievable. And the guy goes and says, so these are what Gallardo says here. No, you don't accept. It's that you don't accept the legality that you accept. You accept football. Otherwise, you don't accept. It's the leg. No, what isn't accepted are cheating. Damn. And that the referee doesn't call a foul and then FIFA shouldn't come in and do it. And of course, what isn't accepted and what I find very dangerous, I go back to the same thing. I'll finish with this, is that you start seeing these little signs of favoritism toward the hosts, whoever the host may be. If in 30 they do the same with Spain, I'll say the same thing. In 82, they tried to pull something for Spain. The only thing is that team was so bad, the Spanish one, that we took a big hit, but they've always tried to favor the host, the national team. The Spanish team performed poorly and we suffered, but the host is always favored. Enough already. FIFA, legality, football, if not FIFA, it's always the same. It's already a jungle. I'm just afraid of what this could turn into in the next rounds. Anyway, and all of this scares me because there are favored teams. By favorites, I mean favoritism by the referee. For those in charge, be careful with what we might see. And I, as a lover of World Cups, have a lot of background in that. I'm really obsessed with national team football and World Cups. I know them all by heart. I can see it coming, which is why I'm making this incendiary video. Some might say I'm exaggerating, but it's not just that I see it coming. I've seen this before. Well, hope everything goes well for you. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. By the way, did Madrid officially announce the Dumfries thing yet or not? I didn't mention it because neither the guy nor the Dutch Federation wanted to. Still, it's not news since we already knew. We'll discuss it in the next video. We have some info on Negreira, but I wanted to focus on this. Brazil and Norway are going to play in about an hour and it's going to be an amazing match. We'll make videos, so thanks for being there. Please hype up the video by giving it a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, comment and share to take this video, like the last two, to another level and help the channel. Thank you very much. Bye.